Hello everyone, welcome to Developers Daily. We are honored to announce that today for the webinar on Campus to Corporate, we have very special guest with us, Naincy Saxena. Thank you so much Nancy for joining this morning, for taking out time for this webinar. We really appreciate it. So why don't we get started with the introduction of your education, your current role? Naincy Saxena is a very experienced system engineer with demonstrated history of working in information technology and services industry. She works in Indiamart Intermesh Limited, strong information technology professional with MTech and BTech focused in computer science from JP Institute of Information Technology. She is skilled in Python, C++, machine learning, data science, and full stack development. Thank you, Nancy. Today we will be looking at various strategies or ways which will make you stand out of the crowd in interviews and placements. It will be very helpful for all the attendees who are looking for a job right now or maybe later.
So, our first question for you, Nancy, is how important is CGPA for placements?
Okay, see, uh, you are gonna be interviewing for a job, and all they want to know is if you'll be able to do the work, if you have the right aptitude. So if you do not have the right CGPA, if you do not have first of all, it's in case of campus placements, you need to make a certain cutoff to sit in the placements. So that is needed. And if you don't have a really good CGPA, then you'll have to make up for it somewhere else in your projects or in your internships. If you don't have a strong academic background, you should be able to prove that you are able to do things. So you'll have to make up for it somewhere else. So yeah, uh, just make if you're not able to, like, if you I know that everyone is not a good performer, everyone cannot be top of the class, but make sure you have certain cutoff, like generally a decent one is 6.5 or 7. In at least in my college it was 7 or 7.5, so 7 was a decent enough.
Can you give our attendees some tips on how to build profile building for?
Okay, just move to the next slide. We have a different slide for that. Yeah, building a profile. So see, whenever you are sitting in a placement, so the first thing someone asks is to introduce yourself, right? Even if you're giving some other interview, something like relating to a college application or anything else, the first thing you're being asked is to introduce yourself. So what what the person the interview is trying to get is how are you apt for the given role or the given job, and if you would be suitable for it, if you would be able to adapt to the atmosphere, if it is too competitive for you. So for that, you'll need to tell that how much how your academic performance is, how what all extra curricular activities were there, like for example, if you apply for Deloitte or KPMG, for those companies, what they look is if the person has a good a good what do you call it, overall, if the person is able to talk to people, if the person is confident enough, if he'll able to be if he'll able to adjust to the competitive environment there, if he'll be able to talk to clients, if he'll be able to say the right things. So they want they want the right personality for that. So if you go for even a non-technical role or a technical role in a consulting firm, there they see overall personality. If you go for a technical role, a very technical role, then there can be two things. Like if you go in an MNC, like uh, Infosys or Cogni or Wipro, there they just see that you have the right basic aptitude for coding, And if you go for companies which are very technical, highly technical, and very good companies, like if you go for Adobe, even if you apply for Microsoft or Google, or even if you go for something like Walmart, then they see that if you have really good technical skills, and they're not very much concerned about your ability to what do you call it, talk it out, like if you'll be able to present yourself very well. Like they're not looking for excellence in that department. They want that you should be able to talk, but you should have excellent technical skills. So it varies from the type of company. So firstly, what you should introspect about is that what kind of a role you would be applying, or you would be interested for. Like every technical person does not want a technical job. You might be interested in a consulting job. You might want to switch to a non-technical role. So first, if first when like the first point when you're starting to prepare for your placements, first thing you should ask yourself is what kind of a role you're looking for. It should not be just for the sake of getting a job. It should be about your interests, how your interests align the JD of the job you're applying for, the job description, the things that you'll be doing there. Because at the end of the day, if you bag the job, see, since I'm working right now, I've realized this, that landing a job is not as difficult as keeping the job, as performing right there. So if you'll be able to love your role, the job that you've landed, if you'll be able to, you know, uh, like it, or be interested in it throughout, then that would only be possible if you were actually interested in it from the start. If you like the tech stack, if you like the responsibilities that they were giving you. I- if you get the job just for the sake of it, you might end up getting frustrated. So don't, first of all, just focus on what kind of a role you want to get into. Don't don't do it just for the sake of it कि placement, placement आने वाला है तो सारी कंपनीज में बैठना है. सारी कंपनीज में भी नहीं बैठना है. You don't have to sit in each of the companies that are coming. You have to choose what kind of a company you want to sit in. It might be a really good company that's coming in your campus, but the role they're offering, that should align with the interests that you have. Like, don't go, I would highly suggest that you should not go for every company. You should not sit for every company. You would get a placement at the end of the day. You would do something with yourself, but don't just sit in every interview. Don't just sit in every company. Go for, you should know how to select the right company for you. I know that being too choosy would might uh, restrict your chances, might lessen your chances, but being too open might land you somewhere you don't want to, which I would say that you might regret later. So don't do that. And once you are able to, like, once you know that, once you're sorted about what kind of a role you want, then you know how to you should build your profile along that. Like if you are going for a non-technical role or a consulting job, right? So people would mostly focus ki what kind of a personality you are, if you're able to present yourself to the people, if you're able to do different kinds of things, right? So you should be more into curricular activities. Your curricular would count there. If and selecting the right internship. See, internships do count a lot, because the general trend we have in the colleges is that they just have one major project, right? And that is, in most of the cases, the students at the end of the and at the when the placements come, they just have one project and one internship, right? A major project and an internship. But for you to bag a job, you should be able to, stand out from the crowd. And what makes you stand out is the right internships and multiple internships in some cases. So the right internship is also something along the lines that you are along the lines of the job that you're sitting for. Like if I have a, suppose I have this content writing job and I'm sitting for a technical role. So my content writing job won't count in the technical role. So you should select the internships which would be similar to the roles you're targeting for, or should add your skills, the skills that you are going to present in the job interview, or they're asking in the job interview. And one point that I missed in this was doing these certifications. Nowadays, you have online certifications and courses. Even those courses have projects at the end, and and if you have done those certification or courses, not just any ones, the good ones, the ones which count. Okay, if you do that, then even then also it shows that you have a certain interest in this field, in this kind of a role, and you have tried your best to explore the same before you have landed a job. So you will be able to give your 100% or at least 80%, and you will be able to grow. Because see, you are a fresher, they don't expect you to be experts. They don't want someone who has ki हाँ स्टार्टअप में जॉब की, मतलब इससे पहले स्टार्टअप में they have done an internship, then this guy would be really good. So those are exceptions. I'm not saying that those don't exist and those don't benefit you. I'm just saying ki whatever internships you're doing, do the ones you're gonna you can con- like you should do the internships which you actually think that you might also do a similar job to this. Like you should not matlab, it should align with the job interviews and the job roles that you're sitting for. So there's that. And see, this 4 year journey that you have from when you become when you do your graduation, it's not just studying, it's all of the things, the network you build, the curricular extracurricular activities, the internships, the academic performance. You It's not just the grades, it's how you grow as a person, how your aptitude changes, how your thinking and planning of the future changes. See, if you do an internship or if you do a job, then what happens is you're not just learning things, you're learning things, and then the perspective of your own future changes for you. Your priorities change. So do from I'm not saying ki if a person is a fresher, he will know ki how what kind of a role he or she wants. But just you should explore. And people also do these things called like they go for Microsoft free code, or they go for what do we have, summer of code, yeah, summer of code, or you join clubs, or so try and get into those things. Don't get restricted to your academics. Everything counts, each and everything counts. Because uh, at the end of the day, you have to sit for multiple companies which are gonna ask you multiple combination of skills and roles, right? So you should be able to you should have a collection of skills and experiences which can bag you the right job. You might not know what the right job is. Okay, so next is resume writing, right? Huh. So resume. See, uh, first of all, you should not have a single resume. You should have multiple resumes depending on the job or the company that you're sitting for. Like if you're sitting for a consulting role or a very non-technical role, if you are a technical person and you're sitting for a non-technical role or a consulting role, then your CV should focus on more focus on your extracurricular activities and your internships, not just on your technical projects. And if you're sitting for a very technical company, then your projects should have your project should be highlighted, your academics, if it is good, then they should be highlighted. If you have entered any competition, they should if you have entered any technical competitions, if you have a GitHub profile, or and your LinkedIn profile should be highlighted. So those things. So a CV should actually be a CV should be, like it should be tailor made for every kind of role. If I'm sitting you should have multiple CVs depending on the kind of role you're sitting. If you're sitting, okay, and then the next thing would be email. Arey yaar. Email, people have these funky emails, okay, like cool guy or something, depending on your birth date, or I don't know what it is. What that was a childhood mistake. Please create a new email, and which is strictly professional, which has your name, just your name. That would be fine. Uh, a little, two, three numbers would not make a difference, but don't keep a cool guy kind of a email in your resume. I People do that. You won't yeah, you'll find it amusing, but people do that. And some people even huh and include some attitude. Yeah. See, when you're including your projects or you're writing about what all you have done, you don't need to use a lot of big sentences that I did this. You just need to present it like there should be a professional presentation, like uh, I volunteered for so and so competition, or I was part of this committee. Like, see, writing and formally writing are two very different things. You should, what all you're writing in the CV should be very, very professional. It should sound very, sincere, and it should not be something you wrote at midnight and just got rid of it. Don't do it just for the sake of it. And please, please, please ask your friends, ask your seniors to proofread it. Don't make any errors. Yeah, when we create it, and even when we read it ourselves, we proofread it ourselves, we read it as we wrote it. Ask someone else to proofread it for you. Ask ask a senior or an experienced person, anyone, your brother, your sister, your friend who's a senior, someone who's working, to proofread it for you, to just take a glance and give you a feedback how it looks to them. Okay, can we move into the next slide? Yeah. Now the don'ts. Okay. So, some people, especially girls, have this knack of adding their photograph, your personal. I'm not being gender biased, but I've seen this in a lot of female people, female candidates, that they use their photographs, their family information, a lot of personal information. All of that is not needed in the CV. All they want to know is how good you are. All they want to know is all the skills that you have, not your personal information. Don't put it. Then you have this fancy, people use these fancy binders, and they use really fancy templates. You don't want a very plain template, but you don't want a really fancy one either. Just pick a template which is in the middle of it. It's not very fancy or it's not very plain. Just use with a one with like two color schemes, that would be fine. You don't need a shaded background or anything like that. Just make it presentable, not too presentable. We don't want glitters on it. We just want a resume which is good to read and which highlights your points. Don't use acronyms, don't use abbreviations, don't do all of that. You might know what GSOC is, but I don't. It is Google Summer of Code, but not everyone knows what a GSOC is. So you need to write full forms, not abbreviation. If you have any, see, if you have any publications, I will tell you what the format should be ideally. If you use a double column, that is very good. If you have a, if you have multiple projects, you should use a double column. So it should have a, descending chronology, like what all projects you did from your final year to first year. Then there should be a school academics. Then on the right side or the left side, you should have add your skills. On the header, there should be your LinkedIn ka profile. हाँ, people, make a good LinkedIn ka profile. मतलब it really matters. At least when you're applying for off campus interviews, your LinkedIn profiles matter, because HR, what they do, they, first thing they do is to go over your LinkedIn profile. And even uh if you find me on LinkedIn, you can go through my profile also. What I've done is, like, I've added a description. Your The description has all the keywords, like all the necessary keywords, which are describe my skills. Okay, so if an HR is browsing over LinkedIn and going through all of the candidates, I would appear on that list. So your LinkedIn should be, it should have all your projects. It should have, if you have any publications, that is really good. It really adds to your profile. And yeah, if you have any references, add that. Work on your LinkedIn profile as you worked on your resume. That really counts. Now, what is next? What's next? Any questions in this resume writing? Anything that you guys want to ask? No? Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Applying for off-campus interview. Okay. See, we all know that we have a lot of crowd in the colleges, and selective companies come. So there are a lot of cases when where you might not land a suitable job, or you might not land a job at all. So in that case, yeah, you should keep your options open. You should apply for the off-campus interviews. So सबसे पहले, the most important thing here is networking. See, off campus में the referrals will work for you. I will tell you, only the referrals will work for you. There are rarely cases जहाँ पे कैंपस, मतलब या तो पूल कैंपस होता है, या फिर ऑफ कैंपस ड्राइव्स होती है. तो ऑफ कैंपस ड्राइव्स happen when in no or good companies don't do off campus drives. They work on referrals. They work on their own job portal. When you apply on their job portal, that's where that works. It doesn't work on you just applying. If you're just applying for the off campus interviews, you won't get one. but but if you have a good networking, if you have a good referral, then it increases your chances. So you should have good networking. Talk to your seniors, talk to the alumni. People who are currently employed might not be your seniors, but work from your college. Talk to them on LinkedIn. Sorry, do that. It will help you bag an interview. Okay, then if you have a strong profile, see, on campus, when a company comes, they have this target that they have to get n number of candidates from this college. Okay, and if there's an off campus interview, especially for freshers, there is very low probability that you'll get selected. If you have to get selected based on your profile, and if you have a really strong profile, that helps you a lot, because mostly companies have this practice of hiring freshers from the campus only. Why would they select you from, if you're giving an off-campus interview? So having a strong profile really helps. You should have multiple projects. I will I will really like, this is a really important point, that you have multiple projects. Don't just do what your college asks you to do. That is bare minimum. Do multiple projects, do projects of your own. Do have, I don't know what all non-technical people what they have, but technical people, they have this GitHub thing called this thing called GitHub, where you can set up your profile, and you can upload your projects. Maintain a GitHub profile, you upload your projects. I don't care how basic they are. It's okay, it's fine. You're a fresher, at least you'll have some projects. See, in my college in JP, what we did was we were required to build a project on almost every technical subject we had. So I had a variety of projects, and I had worked on almost every technology that we were studying. So that was a plus for us. But that doesn't happen in every college. What they have is one internship and one major project. That doesn't get you in. That lands you just the cutoff. So have other projects, work on things, do other internships. It and now to corona ki wajah se you have remote work, you have remote internships. Have those internships, try for them, or at least do your own projects, do certifications. If you're not getting any internships, do certifications, do courses, build your profile. You have to present yourself. They are not looking just for you, they have a lot of people in the crowd. You have to stand out. So do according to that. Make a profile, make like work on yourself, really work on yourself. All the partying and everything is very good, do that, but also focus on this. I will say that again and again. If you're a good person, if you're good in academics, and if you don't have multiple projects, that won't benefit you. Just do projects other than what you're required to do. Then there's cover letter. See, if you're applying for a off-campus interview, you should also send a cover letter along with your resume. What a cover letter is, it is just 2 or 3 paragraphs, okay, to the HR of the concerned company. You first paragraph, you introduce yourself, you say what all, you say where you're from, like which college you're from. If you're a fresher, you say that. Then what all you've studied, your projects, and then you say why you would be good for a company, that you're a hard worker, you're a team worker, things like that. See, if you write a cover letter, it helps the person, the concerned HR, just go through your profile like briefly at one glance. Cover letter helps you a lot, so you should also send a cover letter when you're applying for off campus interview and selecting the right company. It doesn't matter if you're giving an on campus interview or an off campus interview, you should be able to select a right company. You should be able to see what aligns with your interests and skills. Okay, next, what's next? Yeah, aptitude test. Array. Aptitude test, I'll tell you what. See, uh, you have this aptitude test book by R.S. Agarwal, right? Or any basic aptitude test book, you pick it up. Okay, just go through the examples. Okay, just go through the examples. They will have every kind of a question that is needed for that particular topic. Do that. Okay, and if you want to do the exercise, you should also do that. If you're a really hard worker, if you want to study more, go on the internet, type the topic. You'll see a lot of question banks. There is Indiabix, and there is GFG का भी है, बहुत सारे हैं. Pick the topic, pick the questions, solve them. You just need to brush up your basics. Maths में, aptitude में, सब में, हर एक topic के against there are 3-4 types of questions. You have studied all of it. You're a science person. You have studied everything. Just brush up your basics. Don't let the aptitude test get to you. Okay, it's not really hard. Just try 2-3 marks and you'll get it over with. But study it thoroughly. If you clear the aptitude test, that is like aptitude tests are the basic ones. Just go through it. Okay. Okay, next, group discussions. Yeah, so the second step in a lot of companies is group discussion. So what's the problem, what all problems a person faces is that okay, someone will initiate the discussion. So the initiators, if you're initiating the discussion, if you're taking initiative, if you're speaking first, that really adds points. Then if you're listening, if you're listening to the people properly, if you're listening to the discussion properly, and then replying, see, every point you make counts. But if you're saying just anything just so you can be highlighted, that won't work either. If you're screaming on the top of your lungs, that won't work either. Just have a healthy discussion. Don't, if other people are screaming, that won't help them. So make valid points, listen to the discussion, have a see, uh, one of the GDs I gave, उसमें क्या हुआ था कि we were given a situation, and we were divided in pros and cons for a team, and then we had to argue. Okay, and after that, after 2 minutes, we were asked to switch the places. Now, from the start, I'm thinking about the pros and the pros and the pros, and after 2 minutes, I have to think about the cons. They just switch the sides. So you should be able to think on your feet. If you're not able to do that, if you then that might not be good for you. So you should be like really awake for those discussions. Baki, you should not fret about it, because a lot of people do. A lot of people don't have that much self confidence. You should be really confident about those things while you're making group discussion, because that makes you stand out. Okay, what's next? So so basically, GD is not a very big deal, but people do make it a big deal and they panic. You don't have to panic. Keep calm. It will be all fine. Just make good points. You'll get through it. Then there is interview. Okay. So just a minute. Yeah. Okay. So there will be two kinds of interviews. Let's first talk about your technical or non-technical, whatever job you're applying for. So let's talk about the first round, the one that actually assesses your skills. Okay. So firstly, you should practice about presenting yourself, because the first question the person will ask is introduce yourself. So don't don't just go and babble things, because what people do is people are like, obviously this is your first interview, that it actually happens in your first interview, that you panic and then you say everything uh, like in a haphazard manner, and the interview is, and it doesn't go that well. If it doesn't start well, it won't end well. So practice how to introduce yourself. Do it in the front of a mirror, if that helps you. Do it out loud, but practice that. How to say how to say uh, how to introduce yourself, and what not to say, how not to uh, you know uh, exaggerate things. You should keep it concise, but it should include all of that you want to say, because that's the only chance you're going to get to present yourself. Uske baad, the interviewer will ask you questions, then it it won't be in your hands. So if you present yourself well, then it it actually gives you a good chance to you know uh, take the interview in your direction, in the right direction. Then there would and then the next logical question, or the next most asked question, is to explain about your major project, or one of the projects that you've worked the most on. So prepare that. How are you going to explain what all you did? You don't have to explain each and everything. If it was a long project, you just need to explain that much, which highlights your skills. Don't just explain all of it कि हाँ data वहां से लाए थे and I use this third party API. You you just you know again, you need to be concise and highlight the major points which help the interviewee identify your skills that you have used, or identify that you have the right aptitude for your job. That's all they want. Then HR interview. Arre baap re. HR interview is, see, people actually take HR interview really lightly. You should not take it lightly. It can actually uh, disqualify you. HR interviews are really tricky. So what they are trying to see is, see if the city is in another sorry, if the job is in another city, they will try and ask you why you want to relocate, or why would you not prefer to live in the same city, or if you're living, or why would you want to live far away from your family, if there is some issues in your family, if either of your parents are sick. See, I'm not making this up. This is being asked. They bring this up if anyone is if anyone is ill in your family, if there are some problems, they will try to dig up all of your personal things. They will try to find if uh see, they just want to see ki, if you relocate, is there any chance that due to any personal issue you might leave the job or you might come back. They will also ask if you have any plans for future studies. Be very confident about it, that you want to, right now you want to gain experience, you think you are ready, you think you want to learn more by being in a professional environment. See, say that I want, my parents want to uh, want me to relocate, they want me to have a explore better opportunities. We don't have any problems in relocating or any family issues. Don't highlight anything if there is any. That's what I'm saying. And even they also ask, tell some negative things about you. So
Very.
see what, huh, hello, is someone saying something?
Sorry, Nancy, please continue. It might be some participant.
Okay. So there was this interview that I gave. उसमें they asked कि tell me three things that are positive about you and three things that are negative about you. Now tell me, what will you see? What will you say that is negative about you? See, because if you say anything which is negative, which actually really sounds negative, then that might also work in a negative way for you. That might also be a negative point for you for your evaluation. So say things in a manner that they appear to be positive. Like you can say that I am very competitive, and you can say that sometimes I get very competitive, which uh, which which might bother others, but I try to adjust, and I try to cooperate with others and share their workload, so that everyone in the team is happy. So that does not highlight that you're very competitive. That highlights that you're a team worker. Okay, so say your negative points, but add a very positive point to it, so that it does not go against you. So uh, you should, if you want to prepare for HR interviews, you should go online and see what all questions they ask in HR interview, because there are only a list of things that you can ask in HR interviews. So just go through it, see how people answer questions in such scenarios, because क्या होता है ना कि HR interviews are generally the last ones, and till then you are so grilled and so tired that you just
और
want
तुम्हारी
to,
तरफ
you know that you just want to end it and bag the job too. So you have a lot of pressure, but you don't have a lot of energy. I would ask you to just keep calm and do it, attend it as your first interview, and keep an open mind, and don't say anything that goes negatively. Thank you. That much.
Nancy, thank you so much for giving us this detailed overview of the placements. We had some questions that people filled us to ask you during the registration.
Sure, sure.
So, can you tell us what is the best time to apply for internships in big techs like Google, Microsoft, Amazon?
Best time to apply for internship. See, I would, if you want to go for tech giants like Google, Amazon, so they have the summer of both things. Okay, so what they do is they will assign you a mentor and a project, and you will have to work on that project, and at the end of the project you'll get a recommendation and a certificate and everything. Those things are really good for college people because throughout the summer you'll get something to do and you'll learn something new. And apart from that, every summer break, like one summer break you have internship. Even in first year you should apply for an internship. Or if you get a, if you're not targeting a very good company, if you get a remote internship, if you get some which a remote internship for which you can work on with your studies, because in the start of the semester study load isn't that much. So you can even do remote internships which offer you good learning. You can also opt for that. Just do multiple internships, stand out.
Okay,
What
Nancy.
next?
How to be confident in presenting your ideas in a group of people?
During
How to be confident?
and
Yeah.
group discussion.
Practice in front of the mirror, I would say, because once you are able to speak your thoughts out loud, you would be able to speak in front of an audience. Or you can also take help of your friends, prepare with them, talk with them. Then you'll be able to. But I'll say that once you start giving interviews, once you start appearing in interviews, you do become comfortable after 2 3 interviews. See, it won't come naturally to everyone, but after a certain period of time it will. But you don't. The most important thing is to keep your calm, not to panic. That is the key. And practice alone. Just speak up uh, when you're alone in front of the mirror. That really helps. It might sound weird to you, but it helps. Try that. If it works for you, well and good. You can also try this interview bit. What they have is you can schedule an interview. So some other person will be provided a set of questions, and you'll he'll ask you the questions and you have to answer. So basically it is a mock interview kind of a thing. So you can also go on interview bit and try that. That might also work for you.
Okay, thank you
What
so much for your answer, Nancy.
What is the most important quality any company would be looking for recruiting a candidate?
See, there's no general answer for this. Most important quality. As I said before, every kind of a job and every kind of a company requires different kind of a skill set. Most important thing, Firbi, if you want, is if the person is confident enough. If the person is confident, if he or she appears to be really confident, and if their profile shows that they're a hard worker, then it would work for you everywhere.
Okay,
That
thank you,
would be it.
Nancy. And what differences do you think are in online placements and offline placements? Not on campus and off campus. I'm asking about virtual interviews and on-site interviews. Since COVID-19 has, yeah, any suggestions for virtual interviews?
See, virtual interviews, my first suggestion would be a working internet because I have screwed up a lot of times now. I know a working internet is really important. Okay, what's next is even if you are at your home, if you even if you're giving a virtual interview, get ready. Okay, don't sit in a t-shirt and shabby hair. Don't do that. Just get ready. Treat it as you're going to the office, or sorry, you're going to the company and giving the interview. Do it. Get ready just like that, and prepare yourself just like that. Don't, like, I don't think there should be much of a difference between a virtual interview and in-person interview. You should have the same kind of a preparation. You should do it just to, if you treat it just the way you treat the on-person interview, you would be just fine. But see, if you're sitting at your own home, it gives you a little comfort. If you go to the office, the company, then you get a little intimidated because all of a sudden you are at this place that you want to be, and people are working, and you it comes to you naturally that you might be a little intimidated, which at in this thing virtual interviews give you a edge. But yeah, you should prepare it just like the way you're going to prepare for a online sorry, in-person interview. It should not be much different. And please do get ready for the online virtual interviews also. Don't just sit in your shorts. Please don't. Actually, matlab, I think if you don't get ready, you don't get the feeling that you're gonna get. You're giving an interview. Just be yourself, be calm, treat it like that. You will be fine. It's not really different than an on in-person interview. And if a little bit of noise comes, अगर मम्मी चीख रही है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. अब इंटरव्यू की मम्मी भी उतना ही डांटती है, उस वहां से भी आवाज आती है. Try to find a silent place, but it's okay if a little bit of noise is there. It's fine. Doesn't matter. It if you can cooperate with each other. You're not sitting in an office. You're sitting at home.
Okay,
Okay, so
thank you,
yeah.
Nancy, for your lovely answer. It was really helpful. Uh, Guys, we would love to hear from you. If you have any questions, you can unmute yourself or write in the chat box while we continue our discussion. So, Nancy, what do you think life as a corporate employee is like working on different projects? How is it different from the campus life?
See, it actually it is altogether a very different experience. First of all, you get really disciplined, and you get to work on a lot of different things. But it's not just what you get to learn. It's what, like, technically, it's not just your skill set. You get to learn a lot of different things, like talking to the product teams, talking to the client, what to say, what not to say, how to handle a meeting, how to set your yeah, अभी लगेगा थोड़ा सा time. uh, you get to plan things, how you should present yourself in front of people, how you should it makes you more confident. And you start to think about things a little differently. Like, I then when I got placed, when I was a fresher, I used to think यार नहीं, पैकेज इतना होना चाहिए and tech stack इतना होना चाहिए और मुझे ML में ही काम करना है, things like that. But now I want to, I have specific areas I want to specialize in. I want to work on different types of tech stacks. I want to make a very wide uh, skill set. I want to have a wide skill set. I want to have my options open. I even want to learn how to manage a team and become a team lead. So things change. You learn a lot of things. You change as a person, as you grow as a person. And For all the freshers that are here, I want to say one thing. See, even if you get placed, take your job as a hobby and live your life seriously. Don't get engrossed in the work. Don't take all the pressure on you कि हाँ यार काम करना है, deadlines meet करनी है. You have to do that, but don't take the pressure. Take your work as a really, really good hobby that you love and do it like that. Do other things also. Have a work-life balance. That is also important. Do all of those things. Okay, what's next?
Uh, I think we have a
How can one really convert his or her internship into a full-time job? How can one convert a internship to a full-time job? Okay, so that one is a no-brainer. Ki firstly, you'll have to work exceptionally well in your internship. Then uh, connect with the if you're in a startup, then you can connect with the CTO or CEO or whoever is in charge. And first of all, connect with your colleagues and ask them about the possibilities. If that is the culture there, if you can, you know, if there have been cases where interns have been able to convert it into a full-time job, and uh, have a good rapport with people. And if there are any colleagues who have been your seniors or have been from your alma mater, then that also helps, because people have this impression कि हाँ, if ये college से है बंदा तो हाँ, he will be able to work, that he will be able to deliver. Because how to start fluently with the and when the interview asks, tell me about yourself. How to start fluently? Okay, see, uh, there is no fixed answer to this. You just need to ensure that you have a flow in this answer. Like, okay, what are the main things that we should introduce? I'll just answer both of them एक साथ. Okay, तो पहली बात मतलब आपका ना ये होना चाहिए कि हाँ, if you're introducing yourself कि तो you should say कि हाँ, I'm in the last year, I'm in this stream. फिर उसके बाद you tell कि हाँ, मेरे इंटरेस्ट इस प्रोजेक्ट में है, मतलब इस टाइप के टेक स्टैक पे मैंने काम किया है. और फिर अपना इंटर्नशिप बताओ कि मैंने यहाँ इंटर्नशिप की है. फिर उसके बाद अपने प्रोजेक्ट्स बताओ कि कॉलेज के प्रोजेक्ट्स ये वाले थे. बट ये दोनों इंटरचेंजेबल है, ठीक है. The project that you tell last में, the project that you end with, उस पे questions आते हैं generally. So if you want to highlight your internship, so do it at the end. If you want to highlight your college project, then do that one in the end. But have a flow. Don't stop. Even if you're stopping, if you're not able to remember, then take a pause. It is fine to take a pause. It is okay, but don't panic. Just don't panic. And this is a pet question. This will be asked in any interview. So practice it. Okay. Make your mind. Don't be clueless about it. It shouldn't seem like you're making it up on the spot. It should seem like you are prepared. That shows how sincere you are. So do that. Be prepared for it.
okay.
Okay, what else?
Was really helpful. Thank you so much. I think we have another question. What are the main things we should include in short introduction? Is there anything
Uh
you'd like to add to that? I know you.
no, I think that would be fine. That would be it, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank.
Just make sure that the thing that the whatever you are ending with is gonna be asked about next. So if you want to highlight whatever you want to highlight, you want to highlight extracurricular, say that thing in there. Just don't panic. Don't panic. And prepare this question which will be asked everywhere. Okay.
Also,
Thank you people.
curious like how we can apply off campus, especially if you're not from good college. Then can you give us some idea or
See, I'll highly suggest that you guys make a LinkedIn profile, make a good LinkedIn profile, approach currently working employees and ask them for a referral, in message them on LinkedIn, ask them for a referral, or you can also try on platforms like Naukri. There also they have like there also you'll get a good chance of landing an interview. But the thing that mostly works for the freshers is referrals. So do network. LinkedIn is very important. Networking is very important. Don't take it lightly. Build a good profile. Work on your profile. Connect with the people. Ask to them if there is, yeah, go to the careers page. Okay, first of all, every company has a careers page. Go to that. If you find a suitable job, then message a few employees which work in the same department, like in the marketplace department, sorry, technical department, or HRs. Message the HRs, talk to them. If you have any seniors, connect with them, ask them for a referral. See, if you have a, they will just look at your profile, and then if you have a good profile, then you'll have a good chance of getting referred. And if it is a senior of yours, or if you're from the same college, if it's a college alumni, then that will also increase your chances. Talk to people, network people. That is very important. No one is going to come looking for you. You have to go and present yourself. So work on these things. These things are really important. We are not told about them in college. No one will tell you about it. Just do that. Do network. It is very, very important for you. Do that.
So,
That
any
would be
final
it
tip
from my
or
side.
suggestion which we would like to give to all the candidates watching this video?
Any final suggestions? देखो, फाइनल सजेशन मेरा यही रहेगा कि वर्क ऑन योरसेल्फ, प्रोजेक्ट्स करो, internships करो, do something which no one else is doing. Do a course, do a certification, and please build your LinkedIn profile and resume properly. Okay, and network, talk to people. You are not just one of a kind. You will have to make yourself and present yourself as one. So do that. Work on yourself. It's high time that you do that. If you अगर अभी अच्छी job मिलती है, if you land a decent package right now, if you land a decent job right now, that will decide how you grow. If you start from a very low package, and if you start from a not a such good stack, it will be hard for you to land a bigger project or switch tech stack मतलब, a year later. Because if you land the right tech stack, you can grow from there. If you land a if you land a role which is not aligned with you, you'll get frustrated firstly. And switching is again the same journey. You'll have to apply, you'll have to land interviews, you'll have to work on yourself. You don't want to do that again, not this soon. So work on yourself, build a good profile, present yourself. Okay,
Okay.
that would be it.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you so much for taking out time